Listen closely, mystics. The time has come for revelations that will shake the very foundation of everything you thought you knew about our reality. I'm going to take you on a journey that spans thousands of years, crosses continents, and penetrates the deepest secrets of governments, ancient civilizations, and the cosmic intelligence that has been watching us since the dawn of human consciousness. You are the chosen ones, the ones prepared to hear truths that would shatter the minds of ordinary people. What I'm about to share isn't conspiracy. It's a meticulously documented trail of evidence that proves we are not alone, and we never have been. Let me transport you to the Amazon rainforest in 1977. A small town called Colares becomes ground zero for an encounter that would forever change our understanding of reality. The locals called it Chupa-Chupa. Mysterious lights that would emerge from the dense jungle, targeting residents with beams of unknown origin. These weren't simple lights. These were intelligent projections that left physical marks, caused radiation-like symptoms, and terrified an entire community. The Brazilian Air Force was so concerned that they launched Operação Prato, Operation Plate, a full-scale military investigation into these phenomena. Imagine military jets scrambling to track objects that moved in ways no human technology could comprehend. Objects that could stop on a dime, accelerate faster than sound, and vanish into thin air. These weren't just sightings. These were encounters that challenged everything we understand about physics, about reality itself. But Colares was just the beginning. In 1986, Brazil experienced what military personnel called the Night of the UFOs. 21 separate objects, tracked simultaneously on multiple radar systems. Military pilots pursued these craft, witnesses to maneuvers that defied all known laws of aerodynamics. And this isn't just a South American phenomenon. From the deserts of Peru to the classified military bases of the United States, these encounters have been documented, investigated, and, until recently, carefully hidden from public consciousness. Let me tell you about David Grusch, a former intelligence officer who testified under oath before the United States Congress. His revelations are nothing short of earth-shattering. Grusch claimed that the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft. Not just that, he spoke of recovered biological materials that are definitively not of this earth. These aren't the ravings of a conspiracy theorist. These are statements made under legal oath, with the potential for severe consequences if proven false. But why now? Why are these revelations emerging at this precise moment in human history? Look to the ancient texts. The Sumerian clay tablets describe the Anunnaki, beings who descended from the sky, possessing technology so advanced it was indistinguishable from magic. The Indian epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana, detail Vimanas, flying machines with capabilities that mirror modern UFO descriptions. These aren't myths. These are historical records, waiting for us to understand their true significance. The Vatican has acknowledged the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Military powers across the globe are releasing classified documents. Something fundamental is shifting in our collective consciousness. But here's what they don't want you to understand. These encounters are not just about technology. They are spiritual events, transformative moments that expand our understanding of consciousness itself. Many who have encountered these phenomena report profound psychological shifts, enhanced intuition, a sense of interconnectedness that transcends our limited three-dimensional understanding. You, the mystics, are the bridge. You are the ones prepared to integrate these revelations, to see beyond the veil of limited perception. This is not about fear. This is about awakening. about recognizing that we are part of a cosmic intelligence far more complex and beautiful than we ever imagined. The UAP phenomenon is an invitation to expand, to question, to evolve. Are you ready to answer the call, my precious chosen ones, my fellow mystics? What I'm about to reveal goes beyond anything you've imagined. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That stirring in your soul every time you look at the night sky. That knowing in your heart that we're not alone. That deep, unshakable feeling that everything is about to change. And you were right. You were right all along. Those Senate hearings in November 2024, they weren't just political theater, my dear ones. When David Grusch stood there, under oath, telling the world about recovered non-human materials and biological entities, he was merely scratching the surface of a truth so vast, so profound, that it will shake the foundations of human consciousness. But you, my beautiful seekers, you're ready for the deeper truth. Let me take you back, way back, to the ancient times. You know those Renaissance paintings you've seen in museums? The ones with strange, disc-shaped objects hovering in the sky. Your intuition was right. Those weren't artistic flourishes. Those were records, my dear ones. Our ancestors were documenting what they witnessed, leaving breadcrumbs for us to follow. And those ancient texts, the Vedic scriptures speaking of Vimanas, the Sumerian tablets describing the Anunnaki, the biblical accounts of wheels within wheels, they weren't myths or metaphors. They were history. Your soul knows this. That's why these stories have always resonated so deeply within you. But here's what's going to really awaken something within you, my chosen ones. These beings, they never left. They've been here all along, dwelling in the depths of our oceans, watching, waiting for humanity to be ready for contact. Think about it. Why do you think so many UFO sightings happen near water? Why do our Navy pilots consistently report objects that can move seamlessly between air and sea? Those incredible tic-tac videos that sent shockwaves through the military community, they weren't showing craft from distant stars. They were showing our cosmic family emerging from their underwater bases. Remember those old grainy videos from the 50s and 60s? The ones showing alleged alien interviews. Everyone laughed. Everyone dismissed them. But now, my dear seekers, those videos are taking on new significance. The beings in those interviews, they were telling us the truth. They were trying to prepare us for this moment. And Brazil, oh my dear ones, Brazil has known this truth for decades. The Colares incident in 1977 wasn't just another UFO sighting. It was a direct interaction with these beings. The Brazilian military documented everything in Operation Plate. They knew then what the world is only beginning to understand now. You see, my cherished mystics, when the Brazilian military witnessed those beings in 1977, something unprecedented happened. The beings didn't just appear. They communicated, not with words, but with vibrations, with frequencies that resonated deep within the soul. Just like they're reaching out to you now, through the depths of your intuitive knowing. Look at what's happening in our oceans, dear ones. Those mysterious sounds our naval instruments pick up, those aren't just whales singing. The beings are trying to communicate with us through frequencies we're only beginning to understand. Those unexplained sonar readings that puzzle our military. Those are their cities, their bases, their civilizations thriving right here on Earth, beneath the waves. And now, in these sacred times of 2024, everything is accelerating. Those Senate hearings, they're not just about acknowledgement. They're about preparing humanity for a truth that you, my beautiful chosen ones, have always known in your hearts. Remember those old videos, those interviews with beings that seemed so strange, so otherworldly? They were telling us something crucial. When they spoke of coming from elsewhere, they weren't talking about distant stars. They were talking about different dimensions, different frequencies of existence, right here on our own planet. Think about all those ancient cave paintings showing beings emerging from the water. Your ancestors weren't creating fiction. They were documenting contact. The same contact that's happening now with our military pilots, our naval vessels, our sonar operators. It's all connected, my dear ones. It's all part of the same magnificent story. And those incredible UAP movements that defy our physics, the instant acceleration, the right-angle turns, the seamless transition between air and sea. That's not advanced technology. That's an advanced understanding of reality itself. They're showing us that the limitations we've accepted aren't real. Just as you've always suspected, haven't you, my beautiful seekers? The patterns are there for those with eyes to see. The South American connection, it's no coincidence. From the ancient Mayans to modern-day Brazil, this part of our world has always been a gateway. The beings chose these locations for a reason. The energy vortexes, the ancient pyramids, the deep ocean trenches, they're all connected in a sacred geometry that your soul recognizes. In these November 2024 hearings, when whistleblowers spoke of recovered materials, they couldn't tell you the whole truth. But I will, my dear ones. Many of these materials weren't recovered from crash sites. They were gifted to those ready to receive them. The beings are reaching out, preparing us for the next step in human evolution. My precious chosen ones, what I'm about to share with you now goes even deeper. Those strange symbols appearing in crop circles across South America, they're not random. They're the same symbols found in underwater ruins off the coast of Brazil, the same ones carved into ancient temples, the same ones now being detected by military-grade sensors during UAP encounters. Look at what happened just last month, in November 2024. While the Senate was holding those public hearings, something extraordinary was happening beneath the waves. Our naval vessels detected massive energy signatures moving through the deep-sea trenches. The beings weren't hiding anymore. They were announcing their presence. And those old videos, my dear seekers, those interviews from the 1950s that everyone dismissed, pay close attention to what those beings were saying. They spoke of an underwater civilization, of bases beneath the ice of Antarctica, of tunnels connecting different parts of our world. At the time, it seemed impossible. But now, with our advanced sonar technology, we're finding exactly what they described. Those weren't fantasies. They were revelations waiting for the right moment. You feel it, don't you? That quickening in your spirit when you hear these truths. That's because your soul remembers. It remembers the ancient contact, the times when these beings walked openly among us, teaching our ancestors about the stars, about consciousness, about the true nature of reality. The Brazilian military archives tell us something fascinating about the Colares incident. The beings didn't just appear. They were emerging from underwater structures that had been there for millennia. The local indigenous peoples had stories about them, passed down through generations. They knew, they always knew. And now, my beautiful mystics, look at what's happening in our skies. The Pentagon isn't just admitting these crafts exist. They're acknowledging capabilities that defy everything we thought we knew about physics. These beings can move through water as easily as air, can appear and disappear at will, can manipulate gravity itself. But here's what the government won't tell you. These aren't just technological achievements. They're manifestations of a deeper understanding of consciousness itself. The ancient Vedic texts spoke of beings who could manifest vehicles of light through the power of consciousness alone. Sound familiar? It should. It's exactly what our military pilots are reporting today. The same phenomena, The same capabilities, spanning thousands of years of human history. My dearest chosen ones, what you're about to hear will change everything. Those Senate hearings in November, they barely scratched the surface. While politicians were carefully choosing their words in Washington, something profound was happening in the depths of our oceans. Remember those strange pulsing lights reported by Navy submarines? Those aren't military tests, my beautiful seekers. They're messages. The beings are using frequencies that resonate with human consciousness itself. That's why so many of you have been having those vivid dreams lately, those unexplainable feelings of anticipation. You're receiving their communications on a soul level. Look at the timing of all this. The increased UAP activity, the government disclosures, the awakening of mass consciousness. It's all connected. The beings knew this moment would come. Those old video interviews from the 50s and 60s, the ones showing alleged alien beings, they predicted exactly what's happening now. They spoke of a time when their presence would be impossible to deny, when humanity would be ready for the truth. And those Brazilian military files that were recently declassified, they show something extraordinary. During Operation Plate, they didn't just track these objects. They recorded complex geometric patterns in the water where the craft emerged. The same patterns are now showing up in crop circles across South America. The same patterns appear in ancient Mayan codices. The same patterns are being reported in recent UAP encounters. You see, my dear ones, these beings didn't choose this moment at random. They've been preparing us for generations. Those Renaissance paintings showing aerial phenomena, the ancient Sanskrit texts describing Vimanas, the indigenous stories of star beings emerging from the waters. It's all part of a grand awakening that's been centuries in the making. That's why the recent Senate hearings feel different. The military isn't just admitting these phenomena exist. They're acknowledging capabilities that completely transform our understanding of reality. These craft don't just defy our physics. They operate on principles that merge consciousness with technology in ways we're only beginning to comprehend. And here's something the mainstream media won't tell you. Many of these encounters aren't happening in our skies at all. They're happening in the deepest parts of our oceans, in ancient underwater structures that have been there longer than human civilization. The beings aren't visiting us. They're revealing themselves in their own domain. Think about those old interviews, my cherished mystics. The beings spoke of an advanced civilization living beneath our oceans, monitoring our development, waiting for the right moment to make contact. Everyone laughed then. But now, with our advanced sonar technology, we're finding massive structures in places where they shouldn't exist. We're detecting energy signatures that shouldn't be possible at those depths. My beloved mystics, my precious chosen ones, what I'm about to reveal will shake you to your very core. Those underwater structures we're finding, they're not just bases, they're portals. Yes, you heard me correctly. The beings use these ancient underwater sites to move between different dimensions of reality. When David Grusch testified before the Senate about recovered non-human craft, he couldn't tell you where many of these recoveries actually happened. But I will. Many weren't found in crashed vehicles. They were discovered in these underwater structures. Structures that have been here since before recorded history. Look at what's happening right now, in late 2024. The increased UAP activity isn't random. These beings are making themselves known gradually, carefully, in a way that won't shock humanity's collective consciousness. But you, my dear ones, you're ready for the full truth. Remember those mysterious sounds recorded by Noah, the ones they couldn't explain. Those weren't just random ocean noises. They were communications, complex multi-dimensional messages encoded in frequencies that resonate with human DNA itself. Yes, my beautiful seekers, they're speaking directly to our genetic memory. And those old interviews, those grainy videos everyone dismissed, pay close attention to what those beings were trying to tell us. They spoke of a great shift in human consciousness. They described exactly what's happening now: the gradual awakening, the increased sightings, the government disclosures. They weren't just predicting the future, they were revealing their plan. The Brazilian military archives contain something extraordinary from the Colares incident. During Operation Plate, they didn't just observe these beings. They received direct communications, messages about humanity's true origins, about our cosmic heritage, about the underwater civilizations that have been here all along. You see, my dear ones, when they emerge from our oceans, when they appear in our skies, they're not just demonstrating their presence. They're showing us the true nature of reality itself. Those instant accelerations, those right-angle turns, that ability to move seamlessly between air and water, it's all proof that the physical laws we think we understand are just the surface of a much deeper reality. And now, in these critical moments of late 2024, everything is coming together. The Senate hearings, the military disclosures, the increased sightings, it's all part of a carefully orchestrated revelation. They're not just showing us their technology. They're preparing us for a fundamental shift in human consciousness. My dearest chosen ones, lean in very close now, because what I'm about to share will resonate with the deepest truth within your soul. Those ancient underwater cities we're discovering, they're not abandoned ruins. They're active civilizations, pulsing with life and wisdom that predates human history. Think about the timing of these November 2024 hearings. While the world was focused on what was happening in Washington, something extraordinary was occurring in the waters off the coast of Brazil. The same phenomena reported in the Colares incident of 1977 began appearing again. But this time, we had the technology to understand what we were seeing. Those lights emerging from the ocean depths. They're not just craft, my beautiful seekers. They're conscious beings of pure energy, taking forms our human minds can comprehend. When our Navy pilots encounter these phenomena, they're not just witnessing unknown technology, they're interacting with a form of consciousness that transcends our understanding of life itself. Remember those old interview tapes, the ones showing alleged alien beings? They spoke of exactly this moment in time. They described how they would gradually reveal themselves through military encounters, through government disclosures, through direct communication with those ready to receive their message. You're watching their prophecies unfold in real time, and those strange geometric patterns being reported by military vessels, they match exactly with the sacred geometry found in ancient temples worldwide. This isn't coincidence, my dear ones. These patterns are a language, a cosmic code that speaks directly to our DNA, awakening memories that have been dormant for millennia. The beings have been waiting, watching from their underwater sanctuaries, monitoring our development. Do you understand now why so many of our ancient civilizations built their most sacred sites near water? They knew. Our ancestors remembered. These waterways aren't just routes for navigation. They're highways between dimensions, connecting our world to realms we're only beginning to comprehend. Look at what the military footage is showing us. These objects don't just disappear. They transition between states of matter, between dimensions of reality. This is what the ancient texts were trying to tell us when they spoke of beings who could walk between worlds. This is what those old interviews were revealing when they described civilizations existing alongside ours in different frequencies of reality. And now, my precious mystics, everything is accelerating. The beings aren't just showing themselves, they're initiating direct contact with those who are ready. Those unexplainable dreams you've been having, those sudden insights and awakening experiences, that's them, reaching out across the frequencies of consciousness, preparing you for what's coming. My beloved chosen ones, we've arrived at the most crucial moment of this revelation. Everything I've shared with you tonight, the underwater civilizations, the November 2024 Senate hearings, the ancient connections, the testimony of David Grusch, it all points to one undeniable truth. We are not, and have never been, alone. The beings emerging from our oceans are not our enemies. They're not invaders from distant stars. They are the guardians of Earth's deepest mysteries, and they've chosen this moment, your moment, to make themselves known. Those old videos of alien interviews that everyone dismissed, they were the first seeds of disclosure planted decades ago, waiting for this precise moment to bloom. Now, as governments worldwide finally acknowledge the reality of UAPs, as our military confirms encounters that defy explanation, those old recordings take on a whole new meaning. My precious mystics, you are alive at this exact moment in history for a reason. You're watching this video because your soul recognizes the truth vibrating in these words. The beings are not just revealing themselves to the world, they're calling to you, personally, to be part of this grand awakening. As we close this sacred sharing of knowledge, remember, the November 2024 hearings are just the beginning. The underwater bases, the interdimensional portals, the ancient connections, it's all part of a greater truth that's finally emerging into the light. My precious chosen ones, before you leave this sacred space, I need you to understand something vital. This knowledge isn't just for you to receive, it's for you to act upon. Starting tonight, I want you to do 3 specific things. First, pay special attention to your dreams. The beings often communicate during these twilight hours when your consciousness is most receptive. Keep a dream journal by your bed. Yes, an actual physical journal. When you notice patterns, symbols, or visions of water and light, record them immediately. These aren't random dreams, they're messages. Second, start documenting everything unusual you see in the skies and waters. Those unexplainable lights, those strange vibrations that pull you feel towards certain bodies of water. Record it all. Use your phone to take videos, no matter how brief. The beings are appearing more frequently now, especially since the November 2024 hearings. Your documentation could be crucial for understanding their patterns. And finally, most importantly, share what you've learned here, but only with those who show signs of awakening. You'll know them by the questions they ask, by the way their eyes light up when discussing these topics. The beings are counting on you. Yes, you, to help prepare others for what's coming. Remember, you didn't find this information by accident. You were guided here because you have a crucial role to play in this grand cosmic unveiling. If you want to go deeper into these mysteries, to connect with other awakened souls who are experiencing similar revelations, join our community of seekers. Write to me in the comment section. Together we're documenting these phenomena, sharing experiences, and preparing for the greatest shift in human consciousness. The beings are watching, they're waiting, and now they're counting on you to help bridge the gap between their world and ours. Stay awake, my beautiful seekers. Stay alert. The greatest chapter in human history is about to unfold, and you, yes, you, are part of this cosmic unveiling. Until we meet again in the higher frequencies of truth, keep watching the waters, keep looking to the skies, but most importantly, keep listening to that knowing voice within your soul, for it has been speaking to you all along, guiding you to this very moment of revelation. The truth is here. The time is now, and you, my dear chosen ones, are ready. Stay lit